Welcome, Stachers, to another episode of Stache Sports. I'm wearing my Seinfeld shirt today. But first, we'll talk about last night's basketball game and who won the basketball game. And to talk about other stuff about the basketball. We'll also talk about tonight's upcoming hockey game and other sports that are happening today and some that happened yesterday. First, last night, the New York Knicks opened up Game 3 in Madison Square Garden and opened up a first basketball game for a long time. First championship basketball game in 27 years, so that place was rocking. There's a lot of people in that arena, even though Donald Trump was there. It didn't stop fans from coming. I know they might have not had the watch party right outside the stadium because of Donald Trump, but that might be other reasons too. I saw an earlier video today. We're going to talk about it because one of my commenters talked about it yesterday on the Stache video episode 120, so we're going to briefly go over the comment today. But one of my Stachers yesterday was talking about it. And said, but do you think the reason Trump's there not having fans? I mean, a lot of fans went inside the stadium. I don't think that affected it. Maybe, like I said, it could have affected the outside watch party, but they had a lot of watch parties around New York City and around the New York City area, and then even some parts in New Jersey, too, to have watch parties for the New York Knicks last night. But, I mean, it wasn't all because of Trump either. Some of those fans don't know how to behave themselves. I seen the video evidence today of Michael Rappaport, an actor or whatever he does. I don't remember what Michael Rappaport does to become famous, but I saw a video of Michael Rappaport, or I think that's how I pronounce his last name. But anyway, I saw a video of him saying that there are people fighting the other fans, and I seen the other videos of people fighting Knicks fans and tearing up their jersey. I seen Knicks fans beating up other people, sometimes Knicks fans, sometimes San Antonio Spurs fans. I even saw one video of a Knicks fan tearing off one of the San Antonio Spurs fans' jerseys after the game and other stuff. So maybe that's another reason why they're stopping these watch parties, because some of these fans don't know how to control themselves. I mean, I'm not saying it's all New York fans. I know there's some bad apples out to sea, but there's some bad apples that started the fights and caused the fights are ruining for other fans that want to just enjoy the game and have a watch party and watch a whole bunch of other New York Knicks fans. So maybe that's another reason why they're not having all these watch parties too. It's because some of these fans don't know how to control themselves, and I think believing in WWE superstars or Mike Tyson and trying to fight everybody in the street, even officers of the law too. I don't get why fans do this. I'm not trying to condone it in any form, in any shape. I think these fans should be arrested and banned from watch parties or something. But I know you can't ban them from watch parties. You can ban them from arenas if they do stuff in the arenas. But I don't get why people do this and why they try to tear down a city if they win stuff. I think they should just enjoy it and have fun, but not try to beat each other up or tear down a city. But that's the one reason why they might not be having all this fan stuff in the background. But I mean, that's another reason too. I mean, I know I get it. The fans do that sometimes to celebrate, and they like celebrating. And they like celebrating too with the fans, but that's something that happens too with the fans. I mean, I get it. Sometimes the fans might not know how to control themselves, but I understand. So we'll see what happens with that. As you can see, I have my Paul's game jersey up in the background. He pitches later today, but I'll get into that later on. Some of these fans are right now. Sorry, messing with my light. But some of these fans are complaining that Donald Trump has something to do with the fight has something to do with the outcome last night. He jinxed him. He was bad luck. That's why the Knicks lost. Spoiler alert, the Knicks lost last night. We'll get into that here in a minute. But it's not Trump's fault. I mean, the Spurs wanted that game more. I mean, the Spurs needed that game more too. Which, like I said yesterday, if a team goes down 3-0, it's hardly ever going to come back to win it. I mean, I don't know if any team's been swept. We'll look at that here in a minute. I know it can't happen now, but you don't want to be on the wrong side of that and get swept in the NBA Finals when it's the most important game of the year. You don't want to be on the other side of that and get swept, because that's embarrassing. Because that's embarrassing if you're the team that made it that far and you get swept. I mean, I get it. The other team might be good and might sweep you, but that'd be embarrassing to be the team on that end, and you don't want to be the team now that went to the NBA Finals and got swept. So the Spurs came out and played a lot more. I mean, Victor Yamba came out and had a really great game, had one of his best games yet of the NBA Finals. And looking like one of the future stars of the NBA, like I've been saying in my videos. But that's something that the Spurs needed to do. They needed to come out. If the Spurs came out and had a really strong first quarter. I mean, I know the Knicks came back and made a close game. at halftime, and Knicks were even winning at halftime and leading at halftime, and the Spurs came back and made it a game in the third quarter. But it all started in the fourth quarter. This is what people are complaining about. I mean, even Stephen A. Smith, like me, even though I'm not a highly known sports broadcaster right now, and I'm trying to get myself out there, Stephen A. Smith tried to blame Trump for the loss. I mean, come on, Stephen A. Smith. You're a sports broadcaster. You should know better. You should know that Trump wasn't on the court. Trump wasn't missing those shots in the fourth quarter when you're trying to come back. Trump wasn't the one that got the Spurs and your team in early foul trouble. I mean, yeah, the Knicks got in early foul trouble in the fourth quarter, and then pretty soon in the fourth quarter, the Spurs were at the free throw line throwing a lot of free throws and getting foul shots. I mean, if you're going to that's not a good way to try to win a basketball game by having a team at the free throw line. I mean, I know sometimes they don't make it, but the Spurs are pretty good on the free throws last night. And in my opinion, that's giving them easy shots. You want them to work for it and not foul them. So that's one reason why the Knicks lost too, is because they put the Spurs in early foul trouble. I mean, I know the Knicks numbers came back near the end and were only down by 3 and ended up losing by 4 because they fouled the Spurs and the Spurs made the shots. But if the Knicks would have had a hot quarter going in like they did the last 5 minutes, we might be talking about a different story today. If the Spurs didn't get in a lot of foul trouble, then we might be having a different story today. If the Spurs did all this stuff, we might be having a different. I mean, excuse me. I keep speaking fast. Maybe that's why I'm not famous either. If the Knicks didn't get in early foul trouble and give the Spurs easy opportunities at the free throw line, and would have played like the Knicks were playing near the end of the game, when they got close to even tying the game near the end before the final whistle blew and the Spurs ended up winning by 4 points, we might be having a different conversation today. If the Knicks would have had a good third quarter, we might be having a different conversation today. But the Knicks didn't really play well. But like Charles Barkley was saying at the end of the game, they need to get the ball more to Karl Anthony Towns and try to run for him and run for Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson didn't have a good game yesterday either. I mean, he had an okay game, but they need more than one player to have a good game. And that's one reason why they lost. And like I said, the San Antonio Spurs were more hungry last night, so that's one reason why the San Antonio Spurs won, because the Spurs are more hungry and they didn't want to go down 0-3. Like I said, no team has ever come down from an 0-3 series. I don't know if any of the teams have ever been swept. Yes. The Boston Celtics defeated Minnesota Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State Warriors in 1970, and a lot in the 1990s. The recent team to do is the Golden State Warriors defeated Cleveland Cavaliers. But that's something you don't want to be on the average storyline. You don't want to be one of these teams that the Cleveland Cavaliers, the New Jersey Nets. The New York Knicks got swept in 1999. The 1995 Magic got swept by the Houston Rockets. For 1989, Lakers got swept by the Pistons. Whatever. You don't want to be on that storyline, but we won't have to be talking about that now because the Spurs came back. I mean, the Spurs still have a whole bunch. The Spurs still have a whole. The Spurs still have quite a ways to come back now. The Spurs still have quite a ways to come back now. I mean, they got one part done and won one game, so they won't be swept. But like I said yesterday, it's only been 5 teams or whatever that came back from a 2-0 deficit, losing 2 at home. Right now, no team has won a home game in the series because the Knicks swept the Spurs in both games in San Antonio, and the Spurs won New York when the Knicks are home. So it's going to be interesting to see on Wednesday night if the Knicks can win the first game at home in this series. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be interesting. But like I said, Victor Yamba had a 30-point game last night. So that's one reason why the Spurs won. Victor Yamba had a great game. I mean, he had a great game, so that's not blaming Trump or anything. I mean, I'm not trying to blame Trump, and I don't care. I like Trump, so it doesn't matter. But, I mean, Trump wasn't on the court. That's trying to blame somebody, even if it was a Democrat or whatever in the office or somebody who I didn't like. I'm not going to try to blame him. I'm a real sports fan, and I watch the games, and I call it as it is. Even as a casual fan, I knew about no matter who was in the arena or whatever, the Spurs messed that, or the Knicks messed that game up. If you're a Knicks fan, I mean, the Knicks almost came back. They lost 115 to 111. But like I said earlier in the video, if the Knicks would have had a strong fourth quarter and started off the fourth quarter strong, kept going on in the fourth quarter, we might have a different conversation. They came near the end of the fourth quarter but it was too late. I mean, it got close and really close near the end of the game, and it looked like they might have gone to overtime. But the Spurs kept making the foul shots. But like I said, the Knicks got in early foul trouble, and the Spurs had a lot of free throws. And I think free throws, I mean, I know free throws are hard sometimes, but I think giving a team free throws is a lot easier than having a team try to fight for the bucket or fight for each shot possession. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next game. But congratulations to the Spurs. Champagne had 12 points. Springfield had 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, and 2 steals. I think he's the youngest player to have 30 points since Magic Johnson, or something since Magic Johnson. That's quite impressive to see Victor Yamba do something that Magic Johnson was able to do. De'Aaron Fox had 12 points. Stephen Castle had 23 points, and Devin Vessel had 11 points. And Harper had 13 points off of the bench. OG Anunoby had 28 points. OG Anunoby was good. I don't know why they didn't go to him more often near the end of that game. Karl-Anthony Towns only had 11 points. Karl-Anthony Towns is get going for the Knicks to have the Knicks do good. I mean, this is the first loss. The Knicks have another a month. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Knicks do in response, since they've been tearing up competition in the East. But like I said, a lot of people and a lot of experts think the East was a lot easier this year for the Knicks. But now they're making it serious for the Spurs, but we'll see what happens. Josh Hart had 16 points, and Jalen Brunson had 32 points, and Clarkson had 10 points off the bench. But the rest of them had 5 and 4 were the next two highest off the bench. You need their bench to do good too. That's one reason why the Knicks lost. They need to have their bench do good, so when Jalen Brunson's on a rest, they don't go down by a lot. When the Spurs have their stars or the bench on the court. But the Knicks still have a 2-1 series lead and still have a command to the series. It's going to be interesting to see how the Knicks respond back. I mean, the Knicks have been looking really good for the last few games and the last few series. So it's going to be interesting to see how they respond back to that. But we'll see. Victor Yamba's last night was a historical performance in Game 3 of the 2026 NBA Finals. The San Antonio Spurs. Victor Yamba delivered a 32, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks and 2 steals, shooting 61% from the field. His stat line made him the second youngest player in NBA history to record at least 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in the finals game, behind Magic Johnson, who did it 20 years ago in 276 days. The Spurs win to snap the 2-0 Knicks home series deficit and marked the first finals win at MSG in 27 years. So that's what he did. He had 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, and 3 blocks, and he's the second youngest player to do that since Magic Johnson. I mean, Magic Johnson is one of the great NBA players, even though he played for the Lakers. He's one of the great NBA players and one of the great NBA players of all time. But that's something good to see, but Victor Yamba does. I mean, there's some people don't like Victor Yamba, but that's good to see him do that, and that's one reason why the Spurs won. Because when Victor Yamba goes off and your best player goes off, that helps the other team go around. And like I said, the Spurs won a lot more, and they showed it last night. I mean, the Knicks didn't really have a good fourth quarter, so that's one reason why the Knicks lost. If the Knicks would have a good fourth quarter like they did the last 5 minutes and few minutes of that game, then we might have a different conversation and talking about them being one of these other teams that could possibly sweep a series. But now we have a 2-1 series lead over the Spurs, like the Las Vegas Golden Knights do, which we'll get into later here in the video. But that's good for the Spurs. But congratulations to the Spurs. I picked the Spurs to win last night. I mean, I figured the Spurs might win last night, even if Trump wasn't there. But I don't think the Spurs are a team that's going to get swept, and I think the NBA wins more games. So that's one reason why I thought the Spurs are going to win. But congratulations to the Spurs. They have a day off before playing Game 4 tomorrow night on Wednesday. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see if they allow watch parties. Because like I saw Michael Rappaport and plenty of other people talking about how the fans are fighting. I mean, I know some fans are trying to be there to watch other fans. But some fans are bad apples and try to start fights after the game. I even saw a fan after the game try to tear up a poor San Antonio Spurs fan jersey. But he was just walking back to his hotel or wherever he was walking to, because the Knicks fans are a little rabid sometimes and act like they're clowns or try to act like they're wrestlers and fighters. I don't get why fans do that. I mean, I'm not trying to condone this at all. I don't get why fans do that. Why they can't just celebrate. I mean, I get it if they try to celebrate and wave the flags and stuff and celebrate in the streets to their fans. But I don't get why they try to tear down cities if they win championships, or burn cities or burn couches or do all this crazy stuff if they win championships. I definitely don't understand why these fans are trying to attack people and attack the other fans, and especially if it's their fans or opposing fans. It makes the city look bad. It makes your fan base look bad. I mean, the Eagles do that sometimes, and that's why the Eagles are known not to be a good fan base. But I mean, not all Eagle fans are bonkers like that. Magic Johnson, watching from afar, was visibly in awe of calling Wembley's performance in awe, praising his Eagles' impact of 22 years old and 150 days, just 20 months older than Johnson's own finals masterclass. One beyond the game also came after a rough Game 2 loss where he sought redemption by stealing a strong hitting in the first 4 shots inside the restricted area and forcing the Knicks defenders to collapse, creating playmaking opportunities. In shot Remy's last night was historic high-pressure final performance by not only beat the Spurs, but also placed them in the league company of 2 of NBA greatest legends. I mean, that's nice to see. Like I said, that's one reason why the Spurs won last night. But congratulations to the Spurs, but we've been talking about that a lot. So now we're going to go to the NFL news and see if there's anything in the NFL. Sources say Bengals are restructuring Joe Burrow's deal to free up some cap space. Cincinnati Bungles have restructured quarterback Joe Burrow's contract, so told ESPN Adam Schefter and the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Something different but Michael Rappaport. I don't think they're related, like I was talking about the New York Knicks. By adjusting the deal, Burrow will be gain $10 million in cap space for the upcoming season. The season begins, the Bengals could restructure up to $19.2 million by converting his entire base salary for the upcoming season. The move was necessary because of the pre-draft trade for the division tackle Dexter Lawrence II. Before the restructured deal, the team had just $71 million effective cap space for the upcoming season. Cincinnati's transformation leads, whatever. But congratulations to him getting a restructured deal. Brown quarterback competition continues. Another person getting charged for domestic violence in the NFL. That's not good. This time it's Rams. Elijah Johnson arrested on domestic violence charges. Los Angeles Rams left tackle Elijah Johnson was arrested on felony domestic violence charges Monday night, and Los Angeles Police Department confirmed to be in the ESPN. Police said the charges was for a person who willfully inflicts corresponding injury against the spouse. They need to stop getting into fights. That's why my dad would always say that these NFL players need babysitters to try to help them not get in fights and get drunk at bars and other stuff. Browns left tackle, longtime guard Joe Brinter retires after 12 seasons. I guess he didn't want to play on a losing team anymore. Congratulations to him. He can finally be a winner. In retirement. What does that mean? Kansas City Chiefs running back wanted to be everywhere in his new environment. During Wednesday OTA's practice, Walker, who used to play for the Seattle Seahawks and was last year's Super Bowl MVP, led the Chiefs to the biggest acclamation in free agency this offseason was head of the line during the individual running back drills. Of course, he wanted to receive every handoff from quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and a running back tough doesn't want to be what Walker is doing during breaks, So it's going to be interesting what he can do for the for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. I can't wait to see what he does for the Chiefs. I don't know if I want him on the Chiefs because the Chiefs are good, and he's a good running back. I don't know why I guess because of salary cap is the reason, and they have Stache is the reason why the Seahawks were able to get rid of him in money, but we'll see what happens with Kenneth Walker. The beginning of playoffs, or near the end of the season, I can't remember exactly right now off the top of my head, but Zach Charbonnet got hurt in the early pro season or near the end of the season, so that's why he wasn't playing in the Super Bowl and why Kenneth Walker got more opportunities. During the regular season, it was more of a split, and sometimes it seemed like Zach Charbonnet is getting more of the opportunities. So congratulations to him and congratulations to Kenneth Walker, and see how good they do in Kansas City and see how good he does with his other team. The Steelers are finishing OTAs and seeing what goes around right now. But it's no big news out of Steelers training camp or Steelers OTAs right now, but I know of. Now we're going to go. Tonight is Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because, like I said in Game 3, that game was wild. Las Vegas is up 4-0 going into the third period. And next thing you know, Carolina, under 12 minutes, had 3 good goals in the first 9 seconds to make it 4-3. And ended up making 4-4 at the end of the game because Las Vegas had a penalty for delay of game. That's quite wild to see the Las Vegas Golden Knights tie that game. See Carolina come back and tie that game, against the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The Las Vegas Golden Knights look like they're going to win that game, and it went to double overtime. It's going to be interesting tonight to see who gets to double overtime because that's a really good series. I can't wait to see. But I think the Vegas Golden Knights are going to win tonight. I think Mitch Marner, ready to play for the Toronto Blue Jays, or Toronto Maple Leafs, that's baseball, The Toronto Maple Leafs will have a big game. I think Eichel will have a big game for Vegas tonight. I think Jordan Staal might have a big game. And somebody's ever played for Carolina, but I can't pronounce their names. But it's going to be a good game tonight. I think tonight might even go to overtime. But maybe Carolina gets it out, or maybe Vegas gets it out. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Also, it's going to be interesting to see if they have Spencer Anderson. That's a football player. Frederick Anderson and net, or they're going to give their back goaltender, but look pretty good and stop a couple decent shots near the end, even though he couldn't stop a shot deflected off of him in the overtime. It's going to be interesting to see who to go by net tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes. Because after giving up 4 goals, they move off Frederick Anderson and went to the back of goaltender. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Carolina Hurricanes. But I think Vegas is going to win and take a command. I think Carolina is going to win tonight. And I think Vegas is going to win. I think Vegas is going to win and go 3-1 tonight. Oh, wait, now I changed my mind. I think Carolina's going to win. I can't pick. There's a 50-50 shot. So that's why I'm going back and forth. But whatever. I think Carolina ties it up and we go to Game 6. I think Carolina wins one in Vegas. I think they bounce back after that terrible loss. But we'll see. I'm just hoping for a good game like they had on Saturday night. I just want a good game again tonight. But I think the Carolina Hurricanes win tonight and tie it up. But if Vegas wins, oh well, I don't really care. I don't mind Vegas either. I just want a good game tonight. But I think Carolina ties it up. And I think Jordan Staal has a big impact tonight's game. Or Mitch Marner has a big impact for the other team. Or Andre Shavarsky has a big impact. Taylor Hall might have a big impact. And Jordan Martinook might have a big impact for Carolina. It's going to be an interesting game tonight. But that is my tingling feeling right now. I'm picking Carolina just to win, just for the fun of it. Because I don't really care. I'm just going to pick Carolina to win. So that's why I think Carolina's going to win. But like I said, I just hope for a good game. But it's going to be interesting to see, like I said, who plays in net. Are they going to go with Frederick Anderson, but let him all the way this far? Or are they going to go with that other goaltender that they switched in for Frederick Anderson after going down 4-0? I mean, sometimes that's a hard decision by a coach. I mean, the guy did pretty good to get him a good overtime and not give up 5 goals, or the 5th goal, to make sure they got to overtime and make sure they can still get the game. I mean, that's one reason why they switched the goaltender too, is to try to give a team motivation, and surely did last night in the game. But it's going to be interesting to see tonight to see if they get back to Frederick Anderson, because besides that game, he really hasn't been doing too terribly, and the other team has been coming back. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Frederick Anderson led them all the way this far, so they're going to go back to Frederick Anderson, or like I said, are they going to go with the other guy, which I'll get his name here in a minute when I switch it over. Are you going to go with Brandon Bussey, or are you going to go with Frederick Anderson tonight? I mean, Bussey did pretty good, like I said, and this time being in the third period, and then one overtime, but it deflected off a couple players in the second overtime, so that's how Vegas won. But I don't know what they're going to do tonight. That's going to be a tough decision by the coach for Carolina. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. And how much of a short leash does Bussey get if Bussey gets put in before Frederick Anderson? Because this is a pivotal game to win too. So going down 3-1, that's not good either. I mean, it's not like the end of the world, like some games where like if the Knicks would have gone down, or if the Spurs had gone down 3-0. But you don't want to go down 3-0. You want to tie it up tonight if you're the Carolina Hurricanes. So that's going to be a tough decision. I mean, Anderson did pretty good, so I think Anderson might play in that tonight, but that's my guess. But I think, like I said, I think Carolina wins tonight. I think the Carolina Hurricanes win tonight. I think the Atlanta Dream win tonight over the Sky. I think the Wings win over the Lynx. And I think the Misery win over the Valkyria. Valkyries win over Mercury. Mercury, that's a planet. Venus, Mercury. Come on, ladies, make it better than that. Last night, the Liberty won 89-80 over the Suns, excuse me. The Sun. The Fever won 78-76. Wow. The Las Vegas Aces won 101-91 over the Storm. This is the ladies basketball picks. Tonight, like I said, it's game 1 between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Paul Skeens pitches tonight, not against Shohei Ohtani. I mean, I know a lot of us want to see Paul Skeens pitch against Shohei Ohtani, but that's not going to happen. Shohei Ohtani's going tomorrow night. But let's have the Pirates going to bounce back after getting swept by the Atlanta Braves. I mean, I know it's going to be hard for the Pirates to come back and do good, because the Dodgers are one of these teams that just spend oodles and oodles amount of money. That's one reason why we need a salary cap in baseball, to stop this unfairness in baseball. We need to have all these teams be fair and have equal rights to have a good shot. But I'm a diehard Pirates fan, so I'm going to go with Pirates tonight to win. I think Paul Skeens bounce back. I think Paul Skeens has yet another masterful class night against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I think he has a great night. But I know it's going to be hard, because the Los Angeles Dodgers are all these super duper stars. It's going to be really hard. But I think the Pirates offense has a good night tonight, and I think the Pirates bounce back and win tonight. But we'll see. Like I said, Paul Skeens is pitching tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I like Paul Skeens. I think he's still one of the best pitchers. I mean, I know Shohei Ohtani is a good pitcher too, but Shohei Ohtani is not pitching tonight. He'll be pitching tomorrow. First, we're going to go over the games from last night. Last night, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Red Sox 3-1. They had 7 hits, and the Red Sox had 4 hits. The New York Yankees beat the Indians 7-5 last night. The Philadelphia Phillies beat the Toronto Blue Jays 5-2. The Houston Astros won 5-4 over the Los Angeles Angels. The Mariners won 6-3 over the Baltimore Orioles. The Padres beat the Reds 6-2. The Washington Nationals won 4-3. Holy smacks. The Oakland Athletics, or Las Vegas Athletics, or Sacramento Athletics, wherever they play now, because they're not playing Las Vegas right now, lost 15-14 in 12 innings. That's a really high-scoring baseball game. 15-14. That's like a low-scoring football game. It's like a 2-touchdown football game, and then the Brewers decided to go for 2 points at one point to try to win the game. Oh, I guess they did play this game in Las Vegas, Nevada. Maybe they did in Las Vegas. I don't really follow athletics, but whatever. 15-14. That's a really high scoring game. But now we're going back to tonight's games. Like I said, I think the Pirates bounce back tonight. I think Paul Skeens has a big night tonight, and I think the Pirates win tonight. They're playing the Los Angeles Dodgers at PNC Park at 6:40 p.m. tonight. They won't be going to the game. Pirates are minus 118 right now. I'll probably be watching at home. Maybe. But we'll be at the game. E-liners are 2.54 and 5.7 ERA. The Pirates need to do good. I mean, Paul Skeens 6.5 record right now, but the Pirates need to do good. They need to do good and have a good game. The Pirates need to have a good game by the offense. They need Brandon Lau. They need Nick Gonzalez. They need Arnel Cruz to have a big game, and they need Brian Reynolds to have a good game, and they need other players to have a good game. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Pirates do tonight. Hopefully Paul Skeens have a good game against the Dodgers. But I really wanted to see Paul Skeens versus Shohei Ohtani, but we won't be able to see that this time. But let's have the Pirates can have a good game. That's what the Pirates need to do after getting swept by the Atlanta Braves. They need to have a good game, but it's not getting any easier now because they're playing against the 2 top teams in MLB. But if the Pirates want to be good contenders, they need to have a good game and a strong showing. But they need to have their bullpen do good. If Paul Skeens goes a lot of innings, they need to have their bullpen do good. So that's something the Pirates have been messing around with. The bullpen has been really bad for the Pirates. If the Pirates bullpen could do good, that'd be really beneficial for the Pittsburgh Pirates and really beneficial for this team. But let's hope the Pirates can do good tonight. I think the Pirates will win tonight. Here, we're going to go over the other games now. I think the Pirates will win tonight, and I think the Carolina Hurricanes will win tonight. These are my 2 picks right now. And then my little related picks, I can go back in the video and see what you just heard about. I think the Boston Red Sox, I think the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Boston Red Sox again tonight. I think the Pirates beat the Dodgers. I think the Yankees beat the Indians. I think the Blue Jays come back and avenge last night's loss to beat the Phillies. I think the Mets beat the Cardinals. I think the Cubs beat the Rockies, even though I don't want that to happen. I think the Angels beat the Athletics. The Astros beat the Angels. I think the Mariners beat the Orioles. I think the Marlins beat the Diamondbacks. I think the Tigers beat the Twins. I think the Braves beat the Chicago White Sox. I think the Rangers beat the Kansas City Royals. I think the Padres beat the Reds. I think the Nationals beat the Giants. And I think the Athletics beat the Brewers. And they're playing in Las Vegas again. So maybe they are in Las Vegas or they have a fill in Las Vegas. I don't know. I mean, they're going to get them Las Vegas in the near future and still building a ballpark. But we'll see. The Oakland Athletics will leave Oakland after temporary 2024 season, so this season, and temporary play in Sacramento from 2025 through 2027, and then move to the new Las Vegas Stadium in 2028. So I guess they won't be in Las Vegas. I guess they're just playing to pump up the fans when they potentially come in the Las Vegas Arena right now against the Milwaukee Brewers. Maybe just to get the fans pumped up to know what's coming in the future. After 24-20, the AFC, the Oakland Coliseum, or whatever. Oh, so the reason Las Vegas Athletics, Oakland Athletics, or Sacramento Athletics are playing in Las Vegas today is because the Oakland Athletics are playing in Las Vegas today as part of the special 2026 homestand at Las Vegas Ballpark ahead of their permanent move to the city. The Athletics are holding a 6-game homestand in Las Vegas from June 8th to the 14th to 2026, which is the 8th game against the Milwaukee Brewers, marking the first 3 games in the series against 8-12 Las Vegas Ballpark as the home of their AAA affiliate, the Las Vegas Aviators. The temporary location allows the team to I introduced Major League Baseball to Southern Nevada. We built a stadium for local fans before their new $2 billion stadium in Las Vegas Strip opens in 2028. So that's one reason why the Las Vegas that's one reason why they're playing in Las Vegas. But I don't know how many people are going to go to the game tonight because there's going to be a lot of people to watch parties outside of the Vegas Arena and around Vegas watching the Las Vegas Golden Knights play tonight. But that's one reason to pump up the fans and try to show the fans about what's coming around. But like I said, I think Carolina wins tonight. And I think the Brewers win tonight. I think the Pirates win tonight. And you can go back to the rest of my MLB picks and look at the rest of my WNBA picks and other stuff. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the Knicks. And we'll talk more about the Knicks tomorrow because Game 4 of the New York Knicks will be happening tomorrow night on ABC at 8:30 p.m. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I wonder if we're going to have watch parties since a lot of these people are causing fights. I mean, I know it sucks to ruin the watch parties for the rest of the fans, but we'll see what happens with that. But thank you for watching every episode of Stache Sports. If you have any comments or any concerns, please leave them down below. And thank you to our Stache Jake for having comments so I can talk more about the reason why some fans at the watch parties weren't out. So other people in this podcast can know more about this and more about sports. But thank you for my Stashers who watch them every day and support me. Please like and share my videos so we can get more supporters. But thank you for watching my videos. And have a blessed day. And as always, remember to keep stashing and be a stasher. That's a good one. Peace out, Stashers, and have another good day. We'll talk more about Stache Sports tomorrow.